There are two words that have puzzled the entire human race for thousands of years. No one has really understood it yet. That's infinity. When we say the universe is infinite. When the numbers are infinite, what were we talking about? If you think infinity is just big, very big, then you are far from understanding his true horror. For humans to truly understand what the universe is all about, we must deeply understand the meaning of the word infinite. Because infinity is also divided into many levels. The next few minutes, I'm going to take you from the tiniest atom to the farthest reaches of the universe. Leapfrog mathematics, physics, cosmology, even philosophy. Completely redefine your view of the universe. In the breath you just inhaled, contains approximately 5.10 billion atoms. That's 5 followed by 22 zeros. Isn't that amazing? But the number of atoms in your body is even more exaggerated. 700 million, 100 million. That's 7 followed by 27 zeros. And the number of atoms on the entire Earth has reached 110. 100 million ones followed by 50 zeros. Now you might think that's unbelievably large. But on a cosmic scale, it's nothing at all. Because scientists speculate that in the universe we can observe, the number of atoms reaches the power of 10 to the 82nd. That is, there are 82 zeros behind. And here's what's even crazier. If we divide the universe completely into its smallest unit, Planck space, we could end up with 10 to the power of 185. That's one with a full 185 zeros behind it. But even so exaggerated, this is still not the limit of human imagination, because mathematicians tell us that there's a number that's even weirder than this, scarier enough to destroy your entire understanding of numbers. His name is Tree 3. What the hell is Tree 3? Why do you say he is newer than you? All the numbers I just heard are more terrifying. Mathematicians designed a simple game. It's called a number game. The rules are simple. You take some colored seeds and you grow a tree. Each end of the tree, the seed in the palm of your hand continues to expand. But here's the thing. The first tree has at most 1 seed. The second tree has up to 2 seeds. And so on. The number of seeds per tree is limited. And at the same time, every new tree that grows must be completely different from the previous tree. As long as there is a repetition, game over now. Mathematicians discovered that when you only have seeds of one color, the game is almost over as soon as it starts. In the case of 2 colors, it can only go up to the 3rd tree at most. But when 3 colors are reached, that is tree 30. It became incredibly complicated. Mathematicians proved this game will definitely end at some point, but that was the point. They couldn't figure out how many trees it would take to stop. Because that's an unimaginable number, let alone calculate. Physicists even joke that if you really try to understand this number in your head, this amount of information alone could cause your brain to collapse, even form a black hole. The scary thing is, although the 3rd year of junior high school is so huge, weird to imagine, but he is still a limited number. He compares it to real wireless. The gap is much wider than we thought. Now you might be wondering, since this big blow is enough to make people's brains collapse, how crazy would true wireless be? Now the thing that's so scary about infinity is not that it's big. It's that it never ends. That is to say, wherever you count, it always has the next number after it. Never reach an end. But the question is, what if the universe itself is really infinite? What does that mean? This means that the universe is not just too big to imagine. It means that in this infinite universe, everything you can think of happens over and over again. There will even be countless people who are exactly like you, experiencing the exact same life countless times. Because in the face of infinity, any small probability event is bound to keep repeating. Forever. It sounds incredible, but it is the logical dilemma behind true infinity. Because of this, Infinity is not just one big number or one big space. It is an ultimate concept that overturns all human logic and reason. The more we try to understand him, the more you feel the insignificance and limitations of your own cognition. However, humanity's confusion and fear of infinity did not emerge today. As early as 2,500 years ago, there was a group of people in ancient Greece who were completely terrified by the concept of infinity. They are a mysterious organization, founded by the famous mathematician Pythagoras school. These are people who believe that numbers and geometry represent the absolute order of the universe. They admire perfect whole number proportions, think these neat numbers embody the truth behind everything in the universe. But things didn't turn out quite as rosy as they had hoped. They were studying the diagonal of the simplest square, suddenly realized that no matter how you calculate, it's impossible to express the diagonal as a whole number or as a fraction. This gave birth to a number they call irrational. Today we call it the 5-mile number. This kind of number cannot be expressed exactly as a proportion of any two whole numbers. His fractional part extends infinitely. It never ends. This seemingly trivial finding, but as direct as a bolt from the blue, destroyed the Pythagorean school's perfect belief in the order of the universe. They can't accept these infinite continuations, confused numbers. It's a manifestation of some kind of evil and imperfection. Almost at the same time, another philosopher, Zhenouo, also put forward the famous Zenobe theory. He said you had to walk a distance, must finish half first, then do the remaining half, another half. So keep dividing. You will face the reality of infinite partitions and never reach the end. This seems logical, but it cannot be infinitely divided by rational explanation. The philosophers of the time were extremely disturbed, even try to escape or deny the existence of the infinite, visible infinity from the date of birth. It has already begun to challenge human intelligence and psychological endurance. Fascinating and terrifying. However, the anxiety of philosophers did not prevent mathematicians from exploring the infinite. Late 19th century, the German mathematician Cantor decided to confront head-on the infinite puzzle that had puzzled philosophers for 2,000 years. He stopped hiding. It's an attempt to really define and understand the nature of infinity through rigorous mathematics. Cantor's most important discovery was that infinity is not a single concept. He actually exists on a hierarchy. He pointed out that the natural number 1234 has an infinite number, and the even number 2468. There are also an infinite number of... You probably assume that there must be more natural numbers than even numbers, but Cantor was surprised to find it's not true. Both sets are countable infinite. That means they can match 1 to 1. Every natural number can find an even number that matches it. This means that the two sets are the same size, are the most basic infinity. But then Cantor's discovery shocked the mathematical community even more. He proved the infinity of real numbers. For example, all decimals between the number 1 and 2, far beyond the infinite levels of natural numbers. It doesn't correspond to the natural numbers at all. This is innumerable infinity, one level higher than all the infinities we discussed earlier. In other words, infinity is not only divided into sizes. What's even scarier is that there are different levels of infinite existence. And even if you grasp the differences between the two types of wireless, you can still find higher than uncountable wireless, more complex wireless collections. This means that wireless is more than just a concept. It's more like an endless staircase. There is always a higher wireless waiting for you above. These astonishing discoveries had a huge impact on the mathematics community. Cantor himself had to face such a bizarre and complex theory for a long time. Eventually on the verge of a mental breakdown, even had to be admitted to a mental hospital in his later years. This shows that the concept of infinity is not just a philosophical puzzle. He directly challenges the limits of human reason and psychological endurance. Mathematicians' study of infinity is enough to make humanity despair. But here's what's even more shocking. In the physical world, scientists have discovered actual wireless, such as black holes and the starting point of the Big Bang. Does this mean wireless really might be more than just an abstract math problem? What about phenomena that are actually present in our universe? According to the predictions of modern physics, at the center of a black hole lies something called a starting point. The density of this starting point will increase infinitely. The size shrinks infinitely, a place where the laws of physics completely fail. That's right, infinitely increasing and infinitely contracting, and all our physical formulas and logic. It's completely meaningless here. And when we return to the beginning of the universe, it's called the Big Bang. The problem becomes more intractable. The Big Bang theory tells us that the beginning of the universe, all matter, energy and space are compressed to an infinitesimal size, in an infinitely dense point. In other words, the universe itself may have originated from an infinitely dense beginning. But the question is, what does this real infinity mean in the physical world? So the counterintuitive idea is that the universe actually allows for infinity? Does logic completely fail exist? Or does this infinity just mean that our current theory is not complete? Can't really describe the original state of the universe. Scientists are still unable to provide a definitive answer. They have no choice but to admit, somewhere in the universe, such as black holes and the starting point of the Big Bang, physics as we know it really doesn't work. The infinity of this reality forced us to reassess. Perhaps humanity's fear of infinity is not without reason. Perhaps infinity really exists in the universe. It's just that we don't fully understand him yet. But if infinity really exists in the universe, and the universe itself is infinite, then the problems we face next will be even more bizarre than all the ones before. Crazier. Because an infinite universe means everything you can imagine can be real, happens an infinite number of times, and not only that, in such a universe, there will even be countless people who are exactly like you. They share the same memories with you, same idea. Even at this very moment, you're feeling exactly the same. And here's what's even weirder. According to quantum mechanics, there may be even more bizarre phenomena in this universe. Take, for example, the famous Boltzmann theory of the brain. Simply put, in an infinite amount of time, a complete human brain may randomly emerge from the void. This brain has real memories, consciousness, even sensory experience, but he doesn't have a body, no history. They're not out in the real world. It's just a consciousness that floats in the universe and is born out of thin air. You can't even rule out this moment that you're experiencing right now. It's just a random hallucination that comes out of nowhere. Now you might think that's absurd, but in a truly infinite universe, not only could this happen, it's bound to happen. No matter how small the possibility, absolute certainty on the scale of the infinite universe. This logical dilemma and philosophical fear, that is the deepest horror of infinity. He forces us to rethink the reality in which we live, even doubt the authenticity of our own existence. When we truly realize the horror and absurdity behind infinity, confusion and despair are inevitable. Is human intelligence really capable of understanding infinity? How should we deal with ourselves in the face of infinity? But think about it. Human history is really about facing the unknown. Every time we find a seemingly insurmountable limit, it has often been the starting point for the progress of human thought and civilization. Infinity is exactly the same. Although he brings us fear and powerlessness, but it also constantly drives us to challenge, to explore. From the ancient Greek philosophers who first confronted infinite fear, the belief in Pythagoras was shaken by irrational numbers. From Cantor's brave step into the infinite mathematical abyss, modern physicists have to confront the starting point and the limits of black holes. Every time humans face infinity, We all feel small and limited, but it also inspires unprecedented courage and curiosity. In fact, it is this spirit of knowing what cannot be done. It's what drives us to explore, beyond our own limitations,